Warm it up. Find me all the zeros of that glorious polynomial function. Well, we did not yet. People were still fixing it. Yeah? So find me the zeros. All right. So, possible zeros are what? What's my list of possible zeros? 1, 2, 7, and 14. So out of that, we got to get 5, right? Okay. So I would narrow it down. I would use some kind of a graphing type assistance. Come on now. There it is. We get it down, get it down, get it down, get it down. And so we're going to graph this, and we're going to go X. Oh, no, I can't see it. Hold on, let's go up here. Then we can go up here. And then now I can see it. To the 5th minus 4x to the 4th plus 4x cubed plus 10x squared minus 13x minus 14. Shabam. So, oh, look what happened on that one, Miss Pataki.
Oh, what a kiss.
What a kiss. Okay, so it goes through, it appears to be -1, right? And that's a double. And it also appears to go through 2. Okay, and those are both on our list. Okay, so from our graph, we would say here that -1 is a double and +2. Okay, so let's put -1 into it. So that's going to be 1, -4, +4, +10, -13, -14. And we drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Add 5 is 9, it's -9 is, oh, what's that? 1 is -1 is -14 is +14 is 0. Love it. So -1 is a 0. We found that. We knew that off of it. Awesome. Now, I'm going to put in -1 again right away, except now I'm going to go into 1, -5, 9, 1, and -14 here. And we drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. -6, 6, 15, -15, -14, 14, 0. Boom. Okay, so there's my double. Then I take 2 now, and now I'm going to put 2 into 1, negative 6, 15, and negative 14. 1, 2, negative 4, negative 8, 7, 14, 0. So all 3 of those are zeros. Okay? So that means that I can now say f of x is equal to x plus 1, x plus 1, x minus 2, x squared minus 4x plus 7. Right? Okay. Set all those equal to 0. We found that one already. We found that one already. What am I going to do with that one? I know it's not factorable because it doesn't cross the graph anywhere else. Okay, so I know it's not factorable, so what do I got to do? What do we call that? Quadratic formula. So x is going to equal 4 plus minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times 1 times 7 is 28. All over 2 times 1 is 2. That's going to be 4 plus minus the square root of negative 12. Oops, I forgot the negative part. They say, that's important, 4 plus minus 2i times the square root of 3 all over 2 reduces down to x equals 2 plus minus I times the square root of 3. So my 5 zeros for this one, because it had a degree of 5, are negative 1, 2, and 2 plus or minus I times the square root of 3. Remembering the fact that negative 1 is a double because of the kiss. Okay? Then, just when you think that you have all of the answers and can do all of the problems, I go and I change the question. Okay? So, we've been working for the better part of a week now on finding the zero. That's exactly what we just did there. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I am going to reverse that process. I am going to say, instead of finding all of the zeros, I am going to give you all of the zeros, and I want you to find me the polynomial. Okay? So we've learned how to find the zeros given a polynomial, but now let's reverse the process. So what is the polynomial function given the zeros of negative 1, 2, and 4? Okay? Well, if negative 1 is a 0, what is the factor? What do you got? X plus 1 is the factor. If 2 is the 0, what is the factor? X minus 2. If 4 is the 0, what's the factor? If x plus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 4 are factors of my polynomial, how do I find the polynomial? How would I combine the factors? What? Multiply. Yep. So then f of x, or whatever you call your polynomial, is going to be x plus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 4. These two, so that would be x squared minus 4x minus 2x is minus 6x plus 8. So that's going to be x cubed minus 6x squared plus 8x. X squared minus 6x plus 8. So when it's all said and done, f of x is equal to x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x plus 8. Now, we can utilize our graphing utilities. And we can say x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x plus 8. Yes? Has zeros of negative 1, positive 2, and positive 4. Wow. Okay? Took you so long. That to just go. Okay? What about this one? What are my factors? What is my factor? No. What? X minus 4. What's another factor? Right? How are you supposed to multiply that? That's a great question. Right? So could I rewrite this green one as x minus 1 minus the square root of 5? Is that legal? Yeah? Okay. Could I rewrite the purple one as that? Is that legal? Yes? Yeah, just distributed in the negative sign in the inner workings of the parentheses. Love it. Okay. So then this one, I take this x and it's got to go into all three of those parts. So that's going to be x squared minus x plus x times the square root of 5. Take this negative 1, put it in to all three parts. That gives me negative x plus 1 minus the square root of 5. Ran out of space. Then I take the square root of 5, or the negative square root of 5, and I put it in to all three parts. So that gives me negative x square roots of 5 plus the square root of 5 minus 5. Because it's minus the square root of 5 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 25, which is 5. So that's minus 5. Add all those up. What happens to my square roots of 5? Cancels each other out. Leaves me with x squared minus 2x. What happens with these square roots of 5s? Cancels each other out. Minus 4. So then you get x cubed minus 2x squared minus 4x, and you get negative 4x squared plus 8x plus 16. So in the and, f of x is x cubed minus 6x squared plus 4x plus 16. Yeah, buddy? What do I do with that one? What are my factors? What do we got? X minus 1 is a factor. I would agree with that. What do you got? X plus 1 is a factor. X minus 4i is a factor. And x plus 4i is the other factor. Okay? you get the wonderful opportunity to multiply that out. Lucky you. There you go, dear. You're welcome. So, red. So these two combine to be x squared minus 1. These two, black, combine to be x squared plus 16. Questions on how I multiplied those two together? Yes, ma'am. How do I get rid of the i's? Okay, well, let me do it old long way. So x squared plus 4ix, right?
Yeah.
Then minus 4ix, and then minus 16i squared, right?
Yeah.
Okay, middle two cancel each other out, right? They gone. I squared. Negative 1 is I squared, so then negative 16 times negative 1 is positive 16. So I get x squared plus 16. I squared equals negative 1.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. You learned it? Okay. Then got to multiply these two together. So we'd get f of x here is going to equal x to the 4th. We get positive 16 and negative 1. That gets me positive 15x squared. And then minus 16.
Whoa.
What?
Back.
What?
Wait. Yeah.
Those two have to be multiplied together, correct? Right? That gets me x to the 4th, right?
Yeah, I got that part. You lost me with the 16.
What's that one?
16x.
16x squared.
Oh, that's
What's this one?
I see what I did. X squared.
Negative x squared.
Negative
16x squared minus x squared.
15x.
15x squared.
I see what I did.
Yep.
I just needed a little run through quick.
Okay.
Kill it.
You good, Tyler?
Just making sure I can.
Feel better, Bruce.
Good? T? Good? Okay. Now, so this is due Wednesday.
Let's go. Are we turning in?
Been open the whole time. Okay. You also have a formative tomorrow. And more importantly, you have a test on Friday.
Am I blind?
What?